off when you in the trap, ayy. So much.
Okay guys, these are some of the supplies that you guys are going to need in order to make a wig. You're going to need some hair glue, some bundles of course, any bundles you like, a mannequin head, some needle and thread, of course a brush, some wig pins, a wig cap, and some scissors. As you can see, this frontal is already used. I used it once before and I just decided to use it to make a wig. I washed it so it looks a little wet, of course, and it's going to air dry. But anyways, so you'll take your frontal and you're going to measure it on the mannequin head, just like you would do your own head. So yeah, you just got to make sure that everything is measured correctly, and then you would use the wig pins to pin them onto the mannequin so you know exactly where you're at and nothing moves and everything's perfect, and get this wig started. So I found these pins at my local beauty supply store, so I'm pretty sure you can do the same, and you would just use it to pin the frontal down, or any hair down, to the mannequin so that it doesn't move and it stays in place, and you know exactly where to sew and you're not making everything crooked, because trust me, that can happen. So now you would just flip the frontal hair over so you can begin to see where you need to sew down your frontal. Now I choose to sew down my frontal. You can glue it, but I feel like it's more secure if you just take a needle and thread and sew it basically. So here I am just starting to thread my needle and I'm tying a knot at the end. So you would tie your knot 3 times at the end to make sure that it doesn't loosen. You want to make it nice and secure so that when you thread the hair it stays, because if you ever had like a sew-in or anything and then your tracks just start to fall out, that's because the knot's loosen, okay? So anyways, make it nice and tight just like that. So here's where the wig making finally begins. Here I'm just sewing the frontal to the wig cap, and you don't have to stitch them too close together. Like you could do the stitches kind of far apart because no one's going to see it. It's in the middle of your head and you could get away with it. As long as everything is secure, you're good. And you just want to knot your thread so that none of the thread, gets loose, and then, the frontal starts to come off. So you just want to kind of make it secure and really take your time towards the end. Now moving on to the bundles. I got these bundles from a store near my house, and I just got, 100% human hair, and it's body wave. So is the frontal. The frontal just looks a little crazy right now because I had just washed it before I got it ready for this video. So it's just a little frizzy, but it's okay. I still have to style it. Everything's gonna look good as soon as I'm done. So once you've unraveled your bundle, measure it on the head to make sure that everything is still good. And then once you've done that, check to make sure that nothing's shift, everything's still good, because once you glue that bundle onto that head, honey, there's no going back. So once you figure out how much hair you actually need, you can just take the scissors at this point and just cut off any hair that you don't need. Now something I like to do, I like to double the first piece of hair that I put on. I don't know, I just feel like it makes it thicker for the bottom. I just like it. But another thing I also do, I take the glue and I just glue the two loose ends together so that they don't come off. So I'm just going to take the glue, put a little dot on there, put them together and just hold it for a couple of seconds. Now the glue can get a little bit messy, but it's okay because hair glue rolls right off your nails, right off your hands. It's, you know, it's messy, but it's clean at the same time. Then to make sure it really dries, you just want to take your blow dryer and blow that piece of hair with the glue. And once you've done that, you can start to actually glue with the actual track. I'm really careless with the glue at this point. I just put it all over the track. You can try to be neat if you want to. I don't really got time for that because it's going to glue on there anyways. So once you finish gluing, I like to make sure I glue in between the tracks as well, because since I'm doubling them, I want them to stay together as much as possible. When sticking your hair onto the cap, to make sure it stays and that it sticks, you want to make sure you are pressing the hair into the cap, because you wait till the glue gets dark and that means that it gets tacky. So once it gets tacky, you just press it on to the cap and then you take your blow dryer and you blow it, and it just makes sure everything is secure. But also while you're blowing it, make sure you're still pressing the hair down, pressing the glue down into the stocking cap, and you know, making sure everything sticks and stays. On to the second track. As you guys can see, I did not double this track. You can double it as much as you want to if you really want a thicker look. So after this, it's really repetitive. You're just doing the same thing. You're going to measure the hair, cut the hair, glue the hair, and then stick it on, blow dry it. And you're just going to keep on doing that until you get all the way to the top. So I'm going to speed this part up because this is boring and don't nobody want to see this. As you can see, I'm almost done. As you go up, the tracks obviously get shorter because you're measuring them, and it starts to get easier and easier. You don't want to put them too close together because that's how you get that jumbled kind of look, like that high up look. And I realized that after I filmed this, but it's okay. I still like how the wig came out. So when you get closer to the end, you want to be more neat with it. As you can see, this is the last track I am placing. So I'm going to really measure it before I even glue it on. Like, I really want to make sure it is parallel to the frontal. Because if you don't, you're going to have a high up, I don't know, it's just going to look like you're wearing a hat, basically. We don't want that. So you got to really just pay attention to this part. Really paste it down, glue it down, because you don't want the part to come off. And make sure everything just looks perfect. Now, because all that glue might have sunk through the cap, you just want to turn your wig inside out, take your blow dryer and make sure everything is dried so when you put it on, you don't have no glue on your head. And now this is how the tracks look on the hair. It's a body wave. I still have to style it, put some products in it to really bring it to life. Now I'm going to loose out this frontal, make this thing look like a person because it's all air dried now and looking crazy. But that's what the brush is for now, see? The brush comes in handy. Now at this point, I'm just brushing everything back into place, and I'm also brushing it really hard just to make sure the tracks are secure, because at this point, if any tracks were to come off, you'll just fix that. And this is the finished look, guys. I have to style it. I'm going to show you guys how it looks on me. But as you can see, it's easy to comb. Everything's good. No tracks are out. No thread is out. And this is how it came out, guys. So guys, this is how the hair actually ended up coming out. I just added some water, you know, styled it a bit. And if you guys want a tutorial on how I got the curls to look so vibrant, then let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up, and I'll definitely post that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed me showing you guys how I made this wig. So far, no tracks have came out, because I know people are very concerned about when you use glue to glue down tracks. But none has came out so far. This is a couple of days later. I'm just showing you guys how it looks when it's all styled and when I'm actually wearing it.